If you're a full-time nomad or a part-time nomad, if you're like us, you're going to need a good internet connection.
Today we're going to compare 4 options that we've researched to decide which one is the best for us and those of you who might be like us.
You'll be shocked about what internet service we chose. Hey roamers, welcome back to our series on going from sticks and bricks to nomad life. Please hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you'll be notified each time we put out a new video, and make sure not to miss any of the videos in this series.
And we are coming to you from the set of the Improv. Actually, we're at home. We are still waiting 12 days for COVID test results, so we're quarantined in our home right now.
Yeah, and we've probably already had COVID and gone through it and everything.
Yeah, we're sort of taking turns with symptoms.
Yeah, we're not sure if we've had it or we haven't had it, but unfortunately it's taken longer than 10 days to get the results back. So
yeah, so the show must go on. And we are in the middle of a series, a 3-part series.
Well, actually a 4-part series.
A 4-part series.
We're in part 3 of a 4-part series.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. COVID brain. Okay.
This is part 3 of our series, and it's all about internet connections.
And part 1, if you'll remember, was about your sticks and bricks and do you have to sell it? And our guest for that was the Chicories of Chicories Travels. And part 2 was about earning an income on the road. And our guest for that was Kent and Lisa of Living Light RV. So you might want to go back and check those out.
Yeah, we'll have them in the description below. So today our guest on this video is going to be Brian and Shauna from Life Uninterrupted.
And they're going to tell us how important their internet connection is to them with such a fast-growing YouTube channel.
This series is here to explore the different options of nomad life. There is no wrong or right way to live this lifestyle. You just have to find your niche and what way is the right way for you.
And just to let you know a little bit about us, we've never really been followers. We see something that intrigues us and we just sort of circle around it and get to know it as much as we can and figure out what's the right way to do it for us. So that's all we're going to present to you here is what feels like the right way for us to get to the nomad life and what that nomad life looks like to us. And we think a lot of you might be in the same place that we are, where you may not be out there yet because you haven't found exactly what feels the most comfortable to you.
Right.
So let's talk about staying connected. Just to clarify, the type of internet connections we're talking about is cellular for the purpose of this video.
Correct. We know that satellite is out there, and right now satellite isn't really affordable or really a good option as of yet. I know that SpaceX has sent up the astronauts and all that, and they've been up on the space station. Probably a year or 2 from now, satellite's going to be a better option, but it's just not there yet.
So the options are as big or as small as your budget and what your needs are. And so that's one thing that's super important to us is to stay on budget, right?
Stay on budget.
Staying on budget.
There we go.
So the other thing is that everything with internet connection is constantly changing. So you could invest a whole lot of money and a year from now, either that option comes down to half that cost or you don't even want to use that option anymore. So the constantly changing ways of getting connected kind of creates all kinds of opportunity, but also a lot more information to wade through.
Correct, yeah. Now, depending on how important it is for you to have an internet connection, you may want to have 2 sources, meaning 2 service providers that you use, because I don't know if you've ever been anywhere where if you have somebody who has AT&T and they have a connection and you have Verizon and you don't, but then you may go somewhere where Verizon has a connection and AT&T doesn't. So from what we've understood from talking to a few people, they always have two reliable connections.
So one of the first things you need to establish is what are your needs. For us, we need internet connection for our TV. 2 computers. We use one computer for full-time work,
right,
and the other one for editing.
Right.
Both edit.
Edit.
So 2 computers
and 2 cell phones.
2 cell phones, and possibly a camera system outside the RV, so that when I get up in the morning
To take Dexter out, she doesn't get attacked by a bear.
So that's why we need all those connections.
Yep.
So we reviewed 4 different providers that were within the ballpark of a budget for us. And you will be as surprised as we were which one we ended up choosing, because, wow, we were blown away.
Yeah, we never thought it. The first one we looked at was Nomad Internet. Nomad Internet is a membership-based program that connects you to the 4 big cell providers. But those 4 big cell providers remained unnamed on their system.
Depending on the plan, you'll either need to bring your own compatible mobile hotspot router, or you'll need to lease one of theirs.
For those of you who aren't sure what it is, a router is a device that communicates between the internet and your devices in your home or RV that connect to the internet. It routes the traffic between the devices and the internet.
These are their plan choices. The strong pink plan uses T-Mobile's network. There's a $249 one-time membership fee, and it includes a router, and then it's $99 a month. The very blue plan uses AT&T network, but then there's 4 options within this plan, and they waive the membership fee on all of them. The first choice allows you to bring your own device or router and just includes a SIM card. It's $129 a month. The second option includes a travel Wi-Fi router, which is battery operated, and that has a one-time $149 setup fee.
The third option includes a router for a $199 setup fee and is $129 a month. The fourth option includes a Nighthawk LTD mobile router. It has a $349 setup fee and is $129 a month. The third plan is the Deep Red plan, which uses the Verizon network. Here there is again a membership fee of $249, and then it's $149 a month.
The fourth plan is the Bright Yellow plan, which uses Sprint's network, even though T-Mobile and Sprint have merged. And there's 2 options within this plan. You can get the battery-operated travel Wi-Fi router, which is included with a membership fee of $199, and then it's $179 a month. The other option uses the regular router and is included with a $249 membership fee, and then again $179 a month.
All of the Nomad Internet plans allow you a 14-day trial period to see which plan works best for you. And if none of them work for you, then you can send everything back for a full refund.
Another reason we felt it was important to include Nomad Internet in this episode was because it is being heavily marketed to this Nomad Life, and it might be a good option for some of you. But you can also refer others and get an entire month for free, which may be one reason that you see other YouTubers promoting this plan. And also, if you get 5 active customers, then your service is free indefinitely. So we just want you all to make sure that you review the plan and make sure that it's right for you if you do decide to go with it.
The second plan we looked at is called Bix Wireless. It's reasonably priced, and you can take it with you wherever you go.
Right, and they offer 2 networks. They offer the AT&T network, which is $85 a month, or the T-Mobile network, which is $79.95 a month.
And again, there's no throttling, there's no contract, there's no credit checks. There is a $10 activation fee or reactivation fee. So if you wanted to have it going and you take it with you on the road, but then you return to a home base and you want to shut it back down, you can do that. It's prepaid. But when you wanted to start it up again, you'd have to pay that $10 again.
Right, so say you waited a couple of months and you didn't need internet when you were at home, and then you went back out on the road, all you'd have to pay is that $10 and you're up and going again with internet.
So Bix Wireless is on our list to consider. One of the reasons we can use it to take baby steps out onto the road and try it out, but we also could use it at home. And in fact, they sell a router that you can connect up to 40 different devices to. What would that look like? I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah, and you can bring your compatible mobile hotspot router, or they also sell them. The one thing that's kind of been confusing for Linda is this is not phone service. Even though it's cellular, it's only for internet.
Yeah, it baffles me. I'm still trying to wrap around. We're using cell phone towers, we're using cell phone companies, but this doesn't run your cell phone.
No.
So.
It's only for your internet.
Either way, did we choose either of these companies?
No,
No,
we did not.
no, they're off our list. So we'll continue on and you can see what we ended up choosing. So do stay tuned.
Next on our list is a really cool plan. It's called Visible. It's a wireless phone service that uses the Verizon network, and it's promoted as uncapped as far as the data usage.
But there's an asterisk on that on their website, and when you look down below, it says, except in times of traffic. If there's a lot of traffic, it can slow down your data speeds, I guess.
Yeah, and being that it's on the Verizon network, Verizon kind of takes priority. So if there's a lot of people using Visible, but then Verizon's using Visible, kind of takes a backseat to the Verizon customers.
From what we could figure out and from chatting with them, there are no people. There is no phone call that you can make, but you can chat with them.
Right, everything's on the internet, so there is no 800 phone number that you can call for customer service. The only way you can contact them is through the chat, which to me, as we were going through it was kind of making it so it was kind of hard to utilize it. Yeah, it was
taking a lot
It was
longer.
taking a lot longer. Yeah.
The thing that's great about Visible is it's $40 a month, all in. That's all your taxes and everything else. And they offer options of a party plan.
Right.
So the party plan is you can bring your friends or each other. You each have your own contract. Well, there's no contract. You each have your own billing.
Right.
But for each person that groups together in a party, you get a discount. So on your own, $40. If the two of us got it, we'd be $35 each per month.
Right.
If there was a third person involved, then we would be at $30 each per month. And if there's 4 involved or 4 phones, then you're going to be down to $25 a month.
Right, and it's a full prepaid plan, so you pay as you go. The one thing that they said when I spoke to them, chatted with them, was because I asked, say you don't pay your bill, what happens?
Like if you want to stop and start it to take it with you on the road.
Correct. So if it's within 60 days, so if you haven't paid for 60 days, but then prior to the 60-day mark you make a payment, you're good to go, you're back up and going, and you can keep the same number. If you go beyond the 60-day mark, they're going to issue you a whole new phone number.
And the reason that comes into play with Visible, and the reason we're talking about it here on an episode about internet connections, is you can use your device, your phone, to connect one device.
Yeah,
But
so
we had found a workaround.
Yeah, you can tether one device to it. That's all they allow you is one device, but there is a workaround for that. It's called a nano router. So you can hook your cell phone up to a nano router, and then your nano router can be hooked up to your tablet or your TV or your laptop or whatever it may be. So you can be running multiple devices, but the phone is only going to recognize that nano router. So that's the kind of work around that.
So what we're thinking is, and what we've seen some other people do, is get an inexpensive phone for the sole purpose of being your internet connection.
Yeah.
And with that phone, then you would connect that way. So that might be what you would want to shut off and on if you were out on the road and then off the road. Brian and Shauna started their YouTube channel 1.5 years ago when they sold it all and headed out for the Nomad Life. Their channel, Life Uninterrupted, has been an amazing success, and they just passed the 20,000 subscriber mark.
Yep, and they're going to share with us how they stay connected while living out there in the nomad life.
Hey, thanks, Linda and Jamie. We appreciate the opportunity to share some of our knowledge and experience regarding mobile internet connectivity with your audience.
When Linda and Jamie asked us to participate in their 3-part video series, we jumped at the opportunity. We have been on the road just a little over a year, and as full-time RVers, we need reliable mobile internet. And we use it for such things as our website, our blog, to manage our YouTube channel, and we use it to work remotely with our partners. Additionally, we use it for Netflix streaming and Hulu streaming. And did I leave anything out?
That's about it. Yeah, just any kind of typical video streaming. A lot of us do if you have the bandwidth. Mm-hmm. And, there are many solutions out there, some very complicated solutions, some simple solutions. We're kind of in, I think, the middle of the solution levels. All right, let's talk about our arsenal, we have 3 different tools, if you will. We have 2 cell phones. I have a cell phone with a plan of my own through Visible. Shauna has a cell phone with a plan of her own through Visible. Unlimited data. We use this primarily when we're in an area where our cell router, and I'll show you that here in a second, doesn't get good signal. This generally works pretty good. Keep in mind that when you use your phone and you have a hotspot, you can only connect 1 device to it. So that's a downside to this, but having 2 separate plans helps because we have obviously 2 different hotspots. So the primary tool in our arsenal is our cellular router and Wi-Fi, cellular modem and Wi-Fi router. And this connects using AT&T, so there's a SIM card right here. So we have an AT&T unlimited plan. It's been discontinued, and sometimes we'll get throttled once we get up to around 15 or 20 gigabytes per month. Haven't seen it too often. So this gets installed in an area up in front of our coach. Cell signal comes in here, modem does its thing, and then we have our Wi-Fi connectivity here. The great thing about this is you can connect many devices to this, I think up to 100, something like that. Anyway, this is the MoFi 4500 LGT cellular modem, and works great most of the time. Another great feature of this is you can plug in a printer, a USB network drive. If you want to start saving things to a network, this works great for that. Our primary tool. And when we're in an area that doesn't get great cell signal using our cellular modem, I'll plug in the booster. Now this is a machine-to-machine booster, and these are the only kind of boosters that the cell routers can use. You can't use your typical WeBoost router. It will fry the modem, and then you've got $400 worth of paperweight right there. So this gets used on occasion. There's sometimes I don't need to use it at all. I do have an antenna up on top of the roof that helps pull the cell signal in, goes through this, boosts it, and then helps our connectivity when we need to have a lot of bandwidth for either downloading or uploading things to the internet. A couple of tools I use to help understand the signal around me. Cellmapper.net is a great option. You can plug in where you are. It'll show you all the cell towers, and it'll help you also. If you know a cell tower is in one direction, you can take your router and aim these antennas towards that signal. That'll help boost that signal a little bit. I also use speedtest.net and OpenSignal on my phone to help me get an idea of what the speeds are in that particular area. We do get asked quite a bit about what kind of speeds do I need when working on the road, and the answer to that is it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just checking email, your bandwidth requirements or speed requirements are much lower than, say, streaming high definition or 4K video. So here's a little chart that shows you what kind of speeds you can expect to need to be able to do the things you want to do. There are solutions out there that can cost you a lot of money, thousands of dollars. There are solutions that can cost you next to nothing. If you already have a cell phone, that's a great solution. Keep in mind you can only connect 1 device at a time to your hotspot. Our solution seems to work great for us 95 to 99% of the time. Keep in mind we do boondock quite a bit, so we are out in the wilderness. That's where the booster really comes in handy. Again, that doesn't work all the time. If there's no cell signal, then your connectivity is going to be kind of in the tanks anyway. But again, this works best for us, and so far we're happy. Hopefully the information we provided gave you a small glimpse into what it takes to get really good, reliable internet connectivity while living the full-time RV lifestyle. A great resource that I use quite a bit is the Mobile Internet Resource Center. We're not affiliated with them. I just use them if I want to look at new plans, maybe new equipment, some reviews of those kinds of things. And I will leave the link to their website below.
And thank you, Roaming with Rosie, for asking us to be part of this very informative video series.
Yes. Thanks, Jamie and Linda.
Thanks, Brian and Shauna, for all that great information. Make sure and check out their channel, Life Uninterrupted. I'll put a link in the description below that goes to their channel.
So Visible sounds like a really good plan. It was the one that we actually thought we were going to choose, spoiler alert, between $25, $40 a month per phone, per account, and seems to work for most people to do what they need it to do. But they have a compatibility checker to check your existing phones.
Right.
And that's where we ran up against a wall.
Right.
So
My phone works.
his phone works. My phone doesn't.
Yep.
So my Galaxy Edge 7, which yes, I've had it for 3 years or so, doesn't work on their site, even though it's been issued by Verizon.
Right.
And even though this uses the Verizon network, I guess that has nothing to do with it. On top of that, our tablet, which is an Android tablet,
Right.
we thought we would use as our third device, which would bring our account down to less expensive per month for each one of those. And we thought we would use that tablet to connect to that nano router.
Right.
But that tablet isn't compatible either.
No.
So we thought, okay, let's see what they charge for phones.
Right.
To replace my phone with even just a little newer version of my phone, from them, we're looking at anywhere from $700 to $1,000.
Yep.
And our whole thing, staying on budget,
Staying on budget.
that ruined the whole plan.
Right.
At least at that point, we weren't sure what we were gonna do. So, don't ignore the service you already might have.
Yeah, that's right.
So we chatted back and forth with Visible, and we did not really solve much, but we thought that what we would end up doing was taking Jamie's phone over to Visible and just stay on Verizon, which is what we have, with my phone and the Android tablet. So we called up Verizon person.
Right. Actual
Talked to a
person. Yeah. No
And
chatting.
she was really, really helpful. And we worked our way through all kinds of decisions with her help.
Correct.
So currently on Verizon, we have 4 gigs of data that we use 0 of.
Right.
And that's because we're in our sticks and bricks and we have other internet service still for the house.
Right. We use the Wi-Fi all the time. Right.
So because this year we're going to be going out sporadically and still coming back to our home base for work and everything, we weren't sure what we were going to do. We thought we were going to take Jamie's phone over to Visible, get unlimited service for him, and then keep me and the Android tablet on this deal with Verizon and maybe reduce our data.
But you can't do that because we were on the lowest data package you can have, which is 4G.
Yeah, so I guess we had the geezer package
Yeah,
already.
we had the geezer package.
But not quite,
Right.
because they're offering us a geezer package.
Yeah, it's a 55 and over package. Basically how it works, and this is because I was able to speak to somebody on the phone and not have to battle going.
Yeah, we never would have found it on their website.
Right. Yeah, I would have never found it. Basically, they informed me that per device, for just $9 more a month.
$9 total
Total.
for all 3 devices.
Yeah, for all 3 devices, we'll get 15 gigs per device. So we have 3 devices. We have my phone, Linda's phone, and the tablet. That's going to give us 45 gigs a month.
For just $9 more.
For just $9 more per month, which after calculating and looking at it, we're not far off from where we would be if we would have just taken my phone and moved it to Visible and leave everything, leave Linda's phone and the tablet back with Verizon.
So, and again, the one thing with Visible, even though it's unlimited and unthrottled and all that stuff, you're still not getting Verizon's full service. They're second party, and they put it down below on Visible that if there's a lot of traffic on those towers, the Visible will be pushed in.
Deprioritized. Yeah.
However, just to make it clear, everyone who uses Visible has said that's never happened to them and they've been just fine. So I do
Right.
want to clarify that.
Right.
But for us, the winner is sticking with our budget, and what works best for us this year
Yeah.
is for us to stay with Verizon and buy into the old folks package.
Yeah, because we have no idea what we're gonna, when we eventually go full time, we have no idea what kind of data usage we're gonna have. So this is kind of baby steps moving into it, and it just kind of made the most sense.
Yeah, it's just a good way for us to try it and not have to switch back and forth, turn Visible on, turn it off, and all that while we take these baby steps for the rest of this year, especially with COVID, especially with not knowing what's open, what isn't open.
Right.
As far as campgrounds go, I am currently furloughed, and it looks like I very well could be furloughed for the rest of this year, which I guess gives us lots of time to go out on the road if we can find somewhere to go.
Right.
So,
Our conclusion is not to overlook the service that you're currently using.
and to think creatively. And you might be able to do a lot more than what the service provider is telling you on their website.
Right. And the one major thing is stick to your budget.
Stick to your budget. You don't want to go into debt before you start your RV life.
Yep.
We hope you found this helpful. We'll have links down below in the description for all the products that we talked about and links for the service providers as well.
Yeah, and make sure and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified each time we put out a new video. And make sure to tune in next week for part 4 of the series,
which is all about medical insurance coverage for nomads, and especially if you're under 65 or aren't covered by a company insurance plan anymore, because that's our biggest hurdle to getting onto the road. So we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching.
We hope you found this helpful for you. We have... Okay, so...
Okay, go ahead.
We hope you found this helpful. Well... Uh-oh. One sentence, isn't it? Okay. We hope you found this helpful. We'll have links.
He's making a face. Go ahead.
Okay.